We're here for the first race of the FARCA racing season of 2019 at Daytona International Raceway. I'm joined here with one of my other members here in the booth. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me, Connor. Nice to be here.
And we're going to be having, it looks like, 32 cars starting off at this race today. We had one car who failed to actually make the race. That was the 93 car of Kevin Campbell, who was ejected for illegal use of body. He will not be able to race today because of that. We're trying to enforce strict rules here, and of course we'll be following up with this. So our day has been NASCAR sanctioned, FARCA using them, and we also had an issue with the 78 car.
Start your engines!
As they were just given the command, was again the 78 car not being allowed to race. Because of they had an engine swap, I believe, but they were not able to withhold their qualifying time, and they were sent to the back of the field. So the field will get ready, then we are going to be waiting for them to come back around, and we will start the beginning of this race. Starting up front, we have the 62 car. And Racing Designs is on the head of that car next door to the JBL Toyota. Yeah, those two drivers are both original drivers who were in with us at the beginning of this. So that's pretty cool to see some originals leading us to the new season. What do you think?
Yeah, it's great that the older guys are showing those new guys how it's done. But it looks like we had somebody on the apron.
Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and double check and see if they are still back there. It looks like that is the 79 car, Haas CNC. They have an issue there, unrelated so far. Once we maybe get a couple laps in, we'll get an update from that team as to what's going on with that Chevy.
Now, that was a late addition to that team, so maybe something got...
Maybe as simple as a start part could just be going here for some team points to maybe help them out. That'll drop us down to 30 cars as the pace car heads down to pit road. We'll be under the green flag. 62 car will take us to the beginning of the race. Down to turn number 1. They keep it too wide all the way back. We have another car with an issue. We see lots of smoke. Let's see who that is. We got the 28. I believe that is Big Rick Johnson. The blown motor. Looks like he's going to be limping that car around the racetrack. No caution.
That's the number 28 for Manco Motorsports. Underfunded team this year. They're only going to have a few sponsors throughout the year, mostly blank cars.
That was a last-minute sponsorship for them to even get for the lottery. Update from the FARCA officials, that was a pass-through penalty for the 2 failed qualifying post-inspections. They had an issue with the nose of the vehicle not lining up under the laser scanning, and they had a illegal throttle body usage as well from the engine. So, pass-through penalty with the repairs made to that car. Car is now back on the track and a lap down. That is, again, the 79 car. And Best in the World Racing getting some taste up front. That is their number 30 car, sponsored by PureTech. That is a Penske satellite team. Nice to see them leading up here. That is an all-new team for this year.
Yeah, it's Spencer Davis is the driver of that car.
His
new driver here to the league.
His teammate is going down to the inside, will now take the lead. Easily gave that up. Easy point for them. That's very smart. And getting word back from the 28 team, it looks like they had a failed camshaft. They dropped the intake lifters on the front half of the engine. That's going to happen with an underfunded team. That's probably the engine's been through probably 30 races by now, and it was just done.
And currently all Ford right now with a Chevy and one Dodge up there. And there's Toyota still a little ways back.
They're working their way up there at least. Normally you see Toyota's just packed full up here, but it's just a 51 in that Bang Energy Drink Toyota.
That's Brett Pritchard on the wheel of that machine. But he's actually a former champion. He won season 1.
And that is showing that's definitely strong. He's able to hold that outside. He's got the McDonald's 24 right behind him. With no help in sight, he is able to keep this Toyota just chugging through the field. Back to the inside goes Ernesto with that 62. He could finally get back around Evan to get to his teammates in the 22 to regain his old lead. That block through the back of the pack, you saw the 78 just dumped right in front of that Manco Motorsports car, trying to really hold his position back there.
Looks like things up front are going to kind of go single file for the first 5 or 6 cars.
Still trying to make a move there from his Lord Crow Chevrolet. Ben almost just spun the 63 there, got really close to his quarter panel. Got a little bit of a pack starting to check out from the field. That was a 4-car pack, 22, 62, 8, and 99.
2 Chevys, a Ford, and a Dodge.
Aggressive move right there from Big Man. He just tried to move the 62 out of his way. However, Ernesto was not going to have that. And the loss of momentum will result to Castillo getting a pass on him. And all these passing is going to allow more drivers to catch up. First time we've seen the 72 up here. We also have one of the Western Auto Racing cars now moving up to the front of the pack. That looks like a Nissan Johnson in the red War Racing car. And I believe that's a Toyota satellite team of yours, of that 36 car, am I correct?
Yeah, that's the 36 car of Joey Sanders of Supreme Motorsports. They're running 2 full-time cars all year, and then 2 more cars only for super speedways.
And that team is fast. They have had every single car up front now within the first 10 laps.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be the team to beat here today.
As the money line 72, I believe that is Bombera, if I am correct.
Yep, you are correct. Fords in general have been just all strong.
They are strong. The top 3 right now, they have a Toyota peeking in there. That would be the first Toyota to be up front.
The number 63 gear wrench Ford of Brandon Crasta, running second currently.
That is another original driver of the FARCA Racing League, and that is a Procrastination. Lucas 55 is also starting to move up a bit. Slammed on by the 36. Excellent move.
The number 36 is one of the cars for Supreme that will be running all season, trying to win a championship.
Very nice, aggressive driver. That is what every team needs, at least one of them that can hold their own. and keep it out there. That is exactly kind of what you want to see in a smaller team like that. Here comes the 55, though. Out of nowhere, where did Aaron come from? He's down in the 4th position.
Well, they have two Keith Motorsports cars in the 55 and the 42. The 42 is Kyle Keith, original driver and owner of the team, with Target on board.
Kyle Keith, he's been long-standing. He's all the way back to the days of the Valvoline Pro Series before we were even around here with FARCA. That is definitely a legend of a driver. And a long-standing sponsor as well. 30 seems to be making his way back towards the front as well. Get a little info going on the racetrack. This track has a 31-degree banking. Daytona, the fastest time recorded around here, with a 47-second lap time, recorded back in 2000 on a restricted plateless test. Of course, the drivers felt like, or NASCAR officials felt that was unsafe. Therefore, they will not be doing that here, of course. Could you imagine these cars being at upward speeds of 230 miles an hour right now?
I think it'd be really fun to watch. You know, obviously you can't do it for safety reasons, but
that could be quite entertaining, though. You know, a little crazy here in the midway of the pack. Kyle Keith kind of got stuck in the sucker hole, but was able to manage his way in between those two best-in-the-world racing cars, and now has re-chosen the outside line. He's all over the place. Look at him.
He's bouncing around.
Drivers are getting antsy. This can lead to a crash. I know the pack is where you want to watch if something like this were to happen.
There's 3 Toyotas lined up with each other on the bottom row.
Look at that front. We got 3 wide battles for the lead going on. 2 Western Auto Racing cars fighting on the inside of that Penske satellite team. Three wide, now 3 lanes back. What are you saying on this, man?
They still got a long race to go. They might want to, you know, kind of ride it out for a little bit. You don't want to wreck yourself too early.
In the middle of that pack, you see a 37 car as well as a 12 of LeBron. 51 kind of being the odd man out. He's being shuffled towards the back after that. He was trying to stick it on the outside. Got some ton of drivers planning and sticking together. We have a 29 car Meyer, as well as Caitlin in the 92. Caitlin in multiple races throughout its preseason. She won all but one race. And she won here just a week ago.
And obviously hoping to keep that momentum going into the regular season.
Very hard to do. It puts her under an immense amount of pressure, going from being so successful to where it may have been a little more relaxed into now a high-stress environment. She seemed to be handling it well.
Now, this is the most cars we've had on track. All of the tests have just been anywhere from 10 to 15 cars each.
Now you're in a field that's 3 times the size and has twice as many teams. The 3 wide going on again with those Douglas or that Western Auto Racing cars. Unless they're trying to plan for the end or they have something going on. This time it's McClure who's moving up.
And there's, Kyle keep getting passed for second. He was mid-pack earlier all over the place, and now he's back up front.
He's trying something. He's trying to make that outside work.
He's going to need a lot of help if he's going to try to make that.
That'll be back to the lead. Then we have another Toyota trying to make their reins up here. That is the 37 car. However, there goes McClure straight to the bottom of the racetrack, and he is trying to take second from the 37 car.
There's another one of those Supreme Motorsports cars, Scott Vickers. That's he's only going to be driving the super speedways in the 37 team. It's try to get a little extra money, and it's the best place to do it.
And it looks like we have our first round of pit stops going down. We have the 72 of Bombera on pit road, the 51 car, 83 of Evan, the 24, 60, Big Man of the 8, Castile in the 99, Onesta in the 62, 55, 5. Looks like we have Lightyear in the 19, and as well as Trenton McPherson in the 78. All are on pit road for the first round. Some damage to the front of Big Man's number 8. Looks like he locked the front tires and got into the back of another vehicle as they're entering pit road.
This is a pretty tricky pit road to get on when you're going, 200 miles an hour and trying to get to pit road speed.
Definitely. This is all going to be on strategy because we're showing 4 laps shy of what would be the race as end. Our next round, we have McClure, the 22, Keith, and Douglas in the 21, Meyer, Thibodeau, 37 car. We have the number 9, 15, 1, 36, 79, 35, 63, 10, and 27. All are now on pit road.
The rest of the field right there is going to be interesting to see how this...
Little bit of contact. That was, I believe, the 15. I got his nose cut across. This is a very tricky pit road. This field will now have to get sorted out. Drivers leaving. How will they have stayed together? A little bit of a short up on pit road. That was the 1 car.
The number 1 of Thor Gunderson of Manco Motorsports.
Maybe we'll look up in the back. The view from the 78 car. As you can see, they have a little bit of damage to the front of that 8. It's not as bad as it was before, but it is still evidently there. As a 7 section off Pat. Tough car now leaving pit road. He stayed out. He was the only car that made that extra lap. I was going to put McClure at the front. These are your 3 leaders. You have 2 Western Auto Racing cars and a best in the world racing Ford. Those 3 guys are going to be your leaders. Following right behind them and trying to catch up, and it looks like he may. That is the 51 from Meyer Racing Toyotas. There's Pritchard, I believe, in that Bang Energy car. He's actually topped the front of the pack. Toyota has a ton of speed. Very good in the draft.
Getting a lot of ground by getting a lap early.
I did not think those cars would be that aerodynamic. That just shows how well they hang their bodies. Especially passing the halfway point, that extra point is going to go to McClure in the 87 Northwestern Auto Racing in his red Dodge. Coming up towards the middle portion of the pack is Braun and his number 12 DeWalt, leading another big pack of what looks like about 7 cars behind him. Looks like they're slowly inching forward to that beginning field, so we may have a pack rejoining us, and as they do, they have caught up. Interesting way these bodies work. Dirty air seems to be the help at the super speedways this year. Look at that 51 car check out.
Yeah, but that's going to hurt him soon. Getting that far out, they're going to catch back up to him, and they're going to pass him.
Where did he come from? Gabron, out of nowhere, going from 6th to 2nd across the tri-oval. Big mover of the race. He is now contending straight for the lead. 6 positions gained in a matter of a half a lap. What is powering that Ford?
Then right behind him is the number 24 of Scott Porter, getting passed by his teammate Kyle Keith.
Very nice, classic-looking 24 car. That McDonald's paint scheme, a direct replication of Bill Elliott's old car. Looks fantastic on these bodies. This leading pack of cars, consisting of a total of about 12 cars, at the end of the tail is Evan and his best in the world racing, 83, sponsored by Craftsman. Have 16 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Not a single caution. '79 is still registered as a lap down.
Top 4 starting to pull away just a little bit.
They got good power with them. We got that strong. They have 2 strong Fords, and then of course that Keith Motorsports Chevy. Which almost got taken out. Came right across the nose of the 30. To get closer, drivers getting a little antsy, a little more aggressive. Pack is growing. 2 more cars joining. It looks like we had Castillo's lower coat and the 22 have regained in this pack. Ford has surged to the lead. Douglas moving back in. More help is on the way for Best in the World Racing, and Barra goes straight to the inside of Douglas's 21.
All the Fords are starting to stack up front.
Smart for getting field position here, getting close to the 10-lap window. Of course, it also means the second pit stop will be coming up soon, where that can also change up everything, as they only have a few laps to regain and cross that checkered flag. So with that, we're going to give it a second. Let's go ahead and just listen to the sound of these high-revving V8s. We'll be right back with you guys. All right, and let's bring it back. Of course, this car is sounding just absolutely amazing. Very nice high pitch coming off of this, but a little bit of a low growl. Very nice close concert racing. As you saw, they were getting door to door with that pass. However, the Keith moved back to the outside, and the Leclerc also dropped back during that process. Look at Gabron as well. We were just talking about the power plants of these Fords. This is what you want to do right now with this pit stop approaching, is you want to get ahead. That way, faster you're on pit road, faster you can get off. Lose as much position as possible.
And just to make sure he's able to actually slow down his car as to not speed on pit road. That's how you kill a race right there.
And right before we have these pit stops happen, let's go ahead and check in on the middle of the field. We have the secondary field being led by the 60 car as well as the part-timer. We have Trent McPherson in that Monster Energy car that is in the Russian Auto Racing. A nice, it looks like a 14-car field. And then his teammate, a lap down, the 79, is still out there as well.
Yeah, this group really needs a caution to be able to catch up.
Which is a shame for them, too, is they have a lot of really good cars who've already spent some time out in the lead, 55 being one of those. 36 also got traps back here. It's a shame because both of those guys could have been contenders for winning this thing. And currently still, we're waiting for these green flag pit stops to happen. Getting towards the end of the race, look at that. Meyer Racing Toyota, Caitlin led that lap last time around, as well as Pritchard. He has had a share of the spotlight. They are now getting back up here right when the time is right.
And those two cars trying to stick together and work together, keep each other up front. Looks like the only two Toyotas in this main group.
Nice little three-wide action there going for the lead. That was a bold move. Toyota's swooping right underneath him. The 83 went from leading and shot into the back. Miraculously, too, on the outside there, Caitlin, again, led that lap.
And the 24s out front. Kyle Keith to the inside.
Both of these races I saw for the test race didn't have a driver lead a lap from the outside. It looks like she found a way to make that work. Hats off to her. Now, 22 kind of juiced that pit move there. It looks like he wanted to drop down, but had the 30 right there breathing down him. They got about a 2-lap window before they could be out of fuel.
Another pass for the lead there. Kyle Keith taking over the top spot from his teammate.
Falling right behind those two Keith Motorsports cars. Two Chevys, two Fords, Toyota and Dodge. Teams working together right now, leading the race. They are side by side, followed by the best in the world racing Fords. Still no takers down to pit road. They're coming down to 6 laps to go. That window for pitting is getting shorter and shorter.
Now, does anybody try, gas and go, or maybe try to roll the rest of the way without stopping?
Gas and go option may not be a bad choice here. That could be something that could win you the race. I mean, if you just versus it's a 10-second difference, and that 10 seconds is being spread across only a span of 3 to 4 laps. I doubt tires at a super speedway would make a difference here. And here we go. 24 inches his way onto pit road. as well as Castillo in the 99, Bombera in the 72. You got Evan, as well as, it looks like, Miss Johnson, who is a lap down. Big man getting some more repairs done to that 8 car. They're having an issue there. They're not getting that car underway. Almost straight and contact on pit road. Wow, Evan was pouring straight into his pit stall and T-boned the side of the 8 car. I am sure he is going to be very upset about that.
A lot of miscommunication going on right there. Between the crew chief.
All the damage they just fixed on that car is now back on the race car.
Manco
for that team.
They've had a rough race so far, losing one of their cars in the opening laps, and now this going on with the 8.
And our next batch of cars coming on pit road: 36, 9, 79, 29, 1, 35, 63, and 37. 30 car registered as leading the lap as they pass through. That is a best in the world racing driver. Currently on the back stretch, the 22 car breathing down his neck. Gibron's closing in behind him. I don't think these drivers have pitted yet. They're going pretty slow. Maybe they're trying to inch their way in. I don't know if I could recall calling them out.
No, it looks like
they
come. Group as they come in now have ran that extra lap just trying to get as much as they could.
That could pay interesting. We have Caitlin running behind them. She has a second over teammate in the 51.
And neither one of those cars have pitted.
And they'll be coming to 2 to go. They're probably out of fuel. Driver's just now regaining back up to speed on the backstretch. Minimal damage to Carwood's car. '51 is still out there. 22 is now your leader, though.
I'm not entirely sure if the 51 or the 92 have come down yet.
Not too sure either. They're running in this little mid-pack that we have here. And these would be the leaders. The 12 is DeBron trying to catch him. Moving around that last car of the 8. He can also win a lap down during that process. Another Manco Motorsports car. Two laps to go. Lap car, December 10, greatly holding up the 22. DeBron just swoops right up to him.
One of the number 10 is one of those Supreme cars, only running super speedways.
He is holding both of them up. He is really trying to withhold going another lap down. Again, throwing the block. DeBron finally getting around him. The white flag does wave. I'm sure the 22 is frustrated over a situation like this. DeBron, though, he must be jumping for joy. That secondary pack leading right now is Douglas, followed by Caitlin. So the teammate of the best in the world car, the 30, and McLaren, the 87. And Ben managed to work his way up into the top 10. Going down the back. That's the front trial. Not enough time, and a contact from the 10 to the leader as Gibron will lead and win the race. Can you imagine being spun out, coming across the line to win the race?
Well, I guess it wouldn't be that bad as long as you still win.
Yeah.
That's just what Aaron Gibron did in the number 12, as he wins the first race of the 2019 season.
Big congratulations to him and his team of Alpine Motorsports. That is definitely a team of winners. They have had a very high amount of success in the Valvoline Pro Series. And this is a nice way to jumpstart their FARCA career, and maybe they'll do better this time around. And they're very underfunded. They have only a single sponsor on that race car.
Underfunded and a single car team. So for a single car team to come out here and win in a pretty dominant fashion is unheard of almost.
And following suit for the rest of the pack, your unofficial results. We have the 22 Nikon Ford finishing in second. Aaron Douglas in the 21 Western Auto finished in third. Caitlin behind in the 92. 30 car followed suit in the number 9 of Ben Keith in the 42. McClure in the 87. They have the 24. Pritchard in the 51. Evan in the 83. Castile followed in the 99. The 60 car in number 5 and 72, 36, 15, 63, 78, 37. And going in between the below 20, we have the number 1 car from Manco Motorsports, 35, and from Supreme, 29 of Meyer Racing, 55, 62, 19, 10. And these are all cars that are now lapped down, the 8, 79, and 27. And then, of course, as well as the number 28 car of Manco Motorsports, who had an engine failure at the beginning of the race, and then unofficially listed, but will still receive the same amount of points. That is the car who was unable to race today because of an illegal car. That is Kevin Campbell in the 93. There's your results. So with that, that will conclude the first race of the season at Daytona International Speedway. We thank you guys for coming out here to watch us, and we will see you guys next week at Dover International. That will be another day race, second race of the season. Hopefully we can see again some success coming back from Caitlin. She was so strong in preseason. What are your words coming after that race? I didn't see a single caution lap.
Surprisingly, no caution, especially at a racetrack that is pretty known for big wrecks and everything. But everybody was able to keep it together. Be interesting to see if Fords can continue their dominance this season. So they led most of the laps all day.
That was a really strong effort given off by Ford. They were immediately took the lead. They were pretty consistent throughout. I'm looking forward to seeing what Best in the World Racing can do. I mean, this is a team owned by Evan, who used to be the lower driver for Todd Castile, and now he's got a star-studded the Ford Racing team. So we can see where that goes too.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how all these new teams handle a shorter track next week.
Yeah, we're going from a 2.5-mile super speedway to a monster mile of considered a short track, and that's going to be quite a culture shock for these guys, but it's quite a race. Turn 4 definitely bites these cars, so it's going to be hard. We've had lots of cars in the past have to leave the racing service because of their damage, so that's going to be the goal next week, is keep your car clean and survive the monster mile. So with that, we will see you guys later. We'll be signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you.